When people talk about the World Cup, they usually think about matches, goals, emotions, and fans. They think about 90 minutes of football, celebrations, disappointment, memories. What is often completely overlooked is the enormous economic system that exists behind the tournament. The World Cup is not an isolated sporting event. It is a global economic network that involves countries, cities, corporations, and millions of individuals whose livelihoods are directly or indirectly connected to its existence. Now imagine it like this. Imagine the World Cup not as a football tournament but as a massive global project that switches on for 1 month and sends money flowing through almost every layer of the economy. Airlines, hotels, restaurants, media companies, construction firms, security services, marketing agencies, all of them suddenly operate at full capacity. When the tournament exists, this machine runs. When it doesn't, the machine stops. If the 2026 World Cup were not to take place, the first and most significant impact would be felt at the level of the global economy. Economic analyses suggest that an event of this scale generates tens of billions of dollars in worldwide economic activity. Estimates indicate that the 2026 World Cup could contribute more than $40 billion to global GDP through tourism, consumer spending, transportation, media, and trade. To put that into perspective, imagine $40 billion not entering the system at all. That's not money disappearing from FIFA's bank account. That's money that never reaches hotel workers, drivers, restaurant owners, shop employees, or small local businesses. That money normally circulates. One person earns it, spends it somewhere else, and that spending becomes income for another person. When the World Cup doesn't exist, that entire circulation simply never starts. One of the central pillars of this system is media and broadcasting. The value of television rights for the 2026 World Cup is estimated to be between $3.9 and $4.3 billion. These revenues come from broadcasters and streaming platforms that structure years of programming around the tournament. Think about it this way. TV companies don't just show matches, they sell advertising months and years in advance. Brands buy those ad slots because they know hundreds of millions of people will be watching at the same time. If the World Cup doesn't happen, broadcasters don't just lose football. They lose advertising revenue, subscription growth, and sponsorship deals. That directly affects thousands of people working behind the scenes: camera operators, editors, sound engineers, graphic designers, production crews, social media teams, and technical staff. Another crucial layer is global sponsorship. Companies such as Adidas, Nike, Coca-Cola, and Visa invest billions of dollars in long-term campaigns linked to the World Cup. But here's the important part: that money doesn't stay at the top. Imagine it like this. A World Cup campaign starts with a concept created by a marketing team. Then designers work on visuals, factories produce jerseys, warehouses store them, trucks transport them, retail workers sell them, online teams manage e-commerce, customer service handles orders. One campaign alone can involve tens of thousands of workers across multiple countries. Without the tournament, that chain is interrupted. Fewer products are made, fewer people are needed, fewer jobs exist. Host nations and cities represent another major component. For the 2026 World Cup, dozens of cities across the United States, Canada, and Mexico have invested heavily in infrastructure, stadium construction, transportation systems, and security. Imagine a city preparing for the World Cup like preparing for a massive temporary population increase. Roads are improved, public transport is expanded, stadiums are upgraded, security systems are reinforced. All of that work employs construction workers, engineers, planners, electricians, maintenance crews, and local suppliers. Without the tournament, those investments lose their purpose. The jobs still need to be paid for, but the expected economic return never arrives, which directly impacts public budgets and taxpayers. tourism plays a critical role as well. The World Cup attracts millions of visitors who spend money on flights, hotels, restaurants, public transport, and local services. Studies indicate that in the United States alone, the World Cup could generate more than $17 billion in additional tourism-related economic activity. Think about a hotel during a normal summer versus a World Cup summer. Occupancy rates rise, prices increase, more staff is hired, restaurants operate longer hours, taxi drivers have more rides, street vendors sell more food. Without the event, all of that additional activity simply doesn't happen. It's not delayed, it's lost. It is important to understand that the economic impact of the World Cup extends far beyond the top level of the industry. It does not only benefit executives, organizers, and institutions, it affects bus drivers transporting fans, restaurant staff serving meals, hotel workers cleaning rooms, stadium cleaners, technicians, laundry workers washing kits, ticket printers, merchandise producers, and maintenance crews keeping facilities running. According to global estimates, the World Cup can directly or indirectly support more than 800,000 jobs worldwide. That means hundreds of thousands of people whose income, even temporarily, depends on the existence of the tournament. If the World Cup were absent, it would not merely mean the loss of a sporting tournament. It would mean the removal of a temporary but extremely powerful economic stimulus. Employment would be lower. Consumer spending would be reduced. Local economies would lose momentum. Both large systems and ordinary workers would feel the consequences. Because the money generated by the World Cup does not sit in one place, it moves, it circulates, it connects industries and people who otherwise would never interact economically. For this reason, the World Cup is not only a matter of sport, it is a matter of global economic impact, interconnected industries, and real-world livelihoods during the year it is held.